Why, hello there. Let's make sure everything happy here. That seems pretty good. You... Oh, let's start with you, because you're usually the bigger pain. Today's no exception. Come on. You can do it. Okay, we're good there. And you. You seem to be good as well. Okay. So, let's get in to what we're gonna do today. So we need to fix our character on Stowe. It's kind of a disaster, and actually we're gonna stop for a second in what we're doing. We kind of sketched some ideas down in code, but there's a lot of different moving pieces. So I want to stop for a second and do a little bit of sketching in Excalibur to kind of just solidify my thinking here. So we've got a couple things. We have the client. That's going to drive a character. Actually, I could just do this. Right. So a client attaches to a character. That's a thing. We also have, actually I've already got you, an NPC. That is a character, or is planned to be a character, right? And the state machine, ideally, is going to drive them. So, we'll actually do that. Oh, so close. There we go. So these both have a state machine. And you. Like so. In the case of this one, and this is really a back and forth. Well, kind of. Do I want to think about it that way? Well, anywho, either way, in the NPC, the state machine kind of needs to drive things, right? Our character manager in here needs to be able to spawn these into the game world. Or not spawn them, but because that's actually the game manager's job. Game manager. What's the Control G? So the game manager needs to be able to talk to the world manager to tell it to put it into And I'm actually going to copy you. A map, right? And we can have, we're going to have multiples here. And this is going to help us to break up the game map, so to speak, right? Okay. So, to log in, our process is we ask the game manager to authenticate. It makes sure that we can log in. So we authenticate our account. And then we select a character. And then we spawn a character. Okay. When we do that, and we also have, while we're sketching this out, I don't know where you fit just yet. We have tests that need to be able to do this too, right? So, game manager right now, and I want to double check my recollection, thinking, etc. here. Not create, but login. Yeah, we call unstow here. So we need either group. There we go. So tests also need to be able to stand in, right? Character manager, without knowing about world manager here, needs to be able to give us a character. Right now, character, and this guy will bind to him, but right now, character has a reference to the manager in it for things like status effects and conditions and all that, right? Status effects and attributes. And skills, right? All of these live here. And by way of the character manager, we're able to resolve whether or not a given thing is correct. This guy, character manager, has a character database, right? And this diagram's getting messy because the current layout is also messy. So we have to think about if something in here gets stored. It's all by ID, right? Specifically these guys. stored by ID. So when we get you out of the database, BU, and this guy's got the same problem, right? BU a skill, an attribute, whatever. We need to resolve you to what that actually means. We don't want to store the whole thing because they're configurable without going into the database. So what we want is for character manager ultimately to be the source of truth here. Our database here still exists, right? And it's going to have those IDs in it still. We want to be able to get a fully capable character. Out of you. Right? That's what I think we need to try to aim for here. We also want to be able to hot reloadable. We want to be hot reloadable here so that we can figure out what our status effects, attributes, and skills are, right? We don't have anything to call a reload on there yet. Like, we don't have like a management API or anything, or a control program for that. Which is also a thing, right, that we need to think about. But in the future, we just want to support it, because otherwise you wind up with problems. So if we pull you out of here, we don't want to lose data if the ID of a modifiable, we'll just call it, is changed. We do want to log that it exists so we know to fix it. So essentially, I think reload has to come back to character. And you need to give it a character manager to initialize all that stuff, or yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense, because we don't want to have to read from file every single time we unstow a character, right? We don't want to read a disk for that. And right now, these guys are in the same package. They may or may not stay there, right? Probably they will, but we don't want to put ourselves into a corner there. I think new character gets moved to character, and it just needs to have all of these things as arguments, right? So when I call unstow here, we can keep that as a helper. That's fine. We create a new character. Reloading, we just need to build in such a way, I think, that we replace any data. That way, we can mock whatever bits and pieces we need without needing to instantiate a new character manager, so tests can just directly grab a fully capable character. As long as they provide the bits and pieces, right? the bits and pieces here right now, status effects is in its own package. Attributes and skills are not. I don't know that I care, though. They might be fine in there. They're really only... Well, that's not true. Because World Manager for maps needs to know about these guys, too. World Manager already knows about characters, so right now we get that basically for free. These may be candidates for moving, though. Okay, that was kind of helpful. To just sit down and think through it. Oops, let's not move that all over the place. I'll just want to have you over here in case I want to refer back. Okay, so... I think character here. Do tick runs the applied statuses. Let's do... Let's pull this out just for visual organization into a sibling. Let's just do notifications. That way, this stuff can come out. Oops. There we go. Listen to events. We'll leave you there. That's fine. Send event can stay there. That's fine. You... however, belong at the bottom because you're internal. Okay. Get search data. That's for our interface. That's fine. That's fine. Let's put these... No, that's not true. Because those are more like getters almost. Let's put this down here. We're going to put you down here, I guess. Because you're kind of unrelated to all this stuff. Just make this easier to kind of, at a glance, read. Same with these guys. That's fine. Okay. at the very top here, we're going to call you new, right? And we're just going to pull in basically all of the code from here. These arguments to start with. I am going to call you new character still, though. Because it's still in the character package, so we've got other stuff here. And I think logger is fine. Description is a string. I'm not sure. Let's actually call you new character object. Oops, I shouldn't do that though, because I've moved you. I should hope that this will help me out. We need... Let's just call you HP, max HP, location is a point for now. We could build tags here. We've got a logger, and I want to put that actually later, just to keep things grouped up a little bit. You know what I forgot to do today? Hang on. To open this. Get over here. All right. Nothing crazy going on there. Excellent. The current HP, max HP. And we can let manager have control over this, right? Or whoever is doing this. I think tags, state is going to be the tricky part, but I think tags, we have default tags. And additional tags that we can add, I think. Like so. Except for it needs to be... This is the expand? No. Why can't I expand you directly into... Do I have to paren you? Or do I have to just append? Yeah, probably have to append. Okay. That's fine. That. I think some of this needs to be private. That needs to be internal. This is all testing, right? We're going to break tests. We know that. That's fine. Yeah, all testing. Because we want this to run through the state machine, right? And mostly, this doesn't actually matter. We're going to end up using this helper to create those guys, so it'll be fine. This needs to have current location, though, because this is relied on by tests, or not tests, tile to figure, or not tile, map. And world manager. Because it needs to know where am I? Where do I think I am? Go in there, make sure I'm there. And we might put that behind an interface. I don't know yet. Let's fix this blurry camera though, hey? You. There. I also need to change this up. This is not not doing it. Let's do some of that. Sure. Okay. Oop, I forgot to turn that off. Hang on. 1 second. That means it's getting warm in here. Too warm, but it's also rainy outside, so I don't want to open too much windows. Okay. So, roller we need to provide as well. Additional tags. I move this and I immediately put things back where it probably should be, like the last. Not roller. Yeah, roller. Which is... There's an interface for this. It's just roller. Let's do that. It needs a message broker. Still, yep. That's still true. MB is broker. Hello, what does MUD stand for? Multi-user dungeon. This is role. Applied statuses. So this is fine. This can initialize its own. You're creating a new object. The state machine part is going to be a little bit tricky. We could map these guys, maybe. Starting state is a state, which is an interface. We don't know what the state is going to look like. Let's leave this as the default. This will, when we do NPCs, this may change. For now, defaulting to just alive is fine. Because we're going to need to end up storing that somehow. So that if you're dead, you should respawn as dead, right? If you're respawning, we need to create a new object for you if you log back in. Yes, MUD, multi-user dungeon. Hello from South Africa. Hello to you as well. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll have to store it eventually, but for now, we do NPCs or implement actually saving state. This may change. We need... We have a couple other things. Manager, we want to get that out of there. First name, last name, description level. Current location, and also last location? I guess we could leave that 0. I don't see a reason why not. Am I in Windows or Linux? Linux. First time on the channel, what do I do here? I write code. I build this engine I'm working on. Current HP, max HP, current location, attributes and skills need to be provided to me. Let's actually do you before, kind of up here. Attributes, map, UUID, UUID, attribute, and skills, map, UUID, UUID, skill. Because those fellas... Description level. Let's put this in order just so it's easier. Tags, current HP, max HP, attributes. Attributes. Skills is skills. Sup with you. Statuses. Create them, that's fine. Notification channel shouldn't be set. Don't think. Notification wrapper. Bound. It's in listen to events. Oh, we do have a notification channel. So we just create a new one, right? Bound, nil channel. That should be the default. We should be good there. Okay. Can you explain in big lines how this engine is supposed to work? It's a game server. It serves the game. So we got a wrapper there. We've got this to-do needs to come with you. Notification channel, state, message broker, roller first. This actually goes with tags. Okay. So we've got no manager, but that's fine. We're trying to get rid of him. First name, last name, description, level, current location. We're skipping last. Tags, current HP, max HP, attributes, skills, applied statuses, notification channel, state, which is a new one. Roller is the one passed in. Message broker and logger. Okay. Good. So for now, we should be able to get rid of this, right? Unstow. We'll get this back into it. That's fine. Actually, no. That's a lie. When we convert him, we can probably do a instead of this, new character object, engine ID. This is my first name from the database, last name from the database, the description from the database, the level from the database. Why did I dereference you? Is it because it would indicate you're a pointer? Maybe we were nil checking it? We'll leave it for now, but it's a thing to think about. Location. Where'd you go? Location is way later. Hang on. ID, first name, last name, description, level. This is current HP, max HP. This will be trickier. This is where we get into the loading stuff. So attributes and skills, then location. Nil for additional tags right now. What was I doing before? For roller. New simple roller. Rollers.new simple roller. And this is default. Oh, it's just die size. It's not default. Okay, that's fine. Die size. The message broker. This is a method, so where are you? My manager should have, it's an MB, okay. Come down here so I can actually see what I'm doing. I don't like long argument lists usually, but in this case, it kind of just can't be helped. It's a complicated object. So we got our roller, we got our broker, and then the logger. Okay. We'll comment you out really quick. We need to internal attributes to character. I don't want to do. I want to change the way this behaves. So I don't want to directly put it into the character anymore. Let's do this, and it's going to return me that map that I want. This is make map attribute, and then result. We can skip that. This character ID, it's internal, engine ID. Hey dude, first time here. I want to ask you, how do you find working with Go? I'm currently a full stack dev thinking about learning Go for backend. I love Go. Go's fantastic. It's very easy to work with, very simple, but at the same time very powerful. This can be that still, except for it's that. This is that. So we can still log all of our warnings the same way we did before. Why are we doing this twice? Oh, it's to log the extra. Okay. If the internal attributes are greater than my valid attributes, I don't think I need this. Because we already log. Oh, no, I see. We were doing it the other way around. But this... What do I want to do about that? Do I still want to do that every time we unstow a guy? Because if we have them that are no longer in here, that kind of implies this. Why don't we just... Attribute range and the valid attributes. We can still guard it behind... No. No, we're just going to run this the way it is. That's fine. And then we're going to say... that if I don't find you... Do you have... You're just a list. Ah, okay. I'm working on a gravity simulation 2D using C++ and SDL library. Is that a good way to improve my C++ skills? Yeah, writing code is a good way to improve your skills at writing code, for sure. It's kind of like the best way, the only way, really, beyond a certain level to improve your coding skills is to write more code. This is stored this way just to make it easy in the database. But we shouldn't have that many things in here, so it's probably going to be fine. So we can just go here again through... let's name this valid attribute here, and then present attribute internal attributes, and we say if present attribute UUID is equal to the valid attribute UUID, then we say we found you. We break this loop down here. If we didn't find you, then we're going to log a warning that says character ID does not have or is missing attribute ID appending. Right. This is internal engine ID, and then valid attribute UUID here, right? Cool. And then we do result at valid attribute UUID equals valid attribute. That way we still get our logging. We're still going to end up appending. And it'll get saved to the database for the future. Okay. So, parse internal attributes, our character. This will be attribute map. We're going to do the same thing. Skill map. Internal skills to car. But we're going to go refactor this guy basically in the same exact way. Parse internal skills. It will not take the converted as an argument. It will return map UUID UID skill instead. Result make map UUID UUID skill. Like so. Value is that. This is results. We're going to default to 0 for the value of anything we append. Could use starting attribute score or starting skill score, depending, whichever one. Yeah, let's do that. Here, where we add it. Starting attribute score. This should copy it, I believe. Anywho, the same thing will happen down here. This is just result. This is internal engine ID. Same here. I'm just going to copy this and drop it in place wholesale, and we're going to go and rename that. This is palette skills. Skill found. Present skill. If found is true, break. If it's not found, missing skill ID. New skill. Starting skill score. Okay. And then skills come right after, or attributes come right after max HP. So attribute map, skill map. That'll fix that. That'll get rid of all of that. Converted is a pointer already. We can just return it. Okay. Initialize character can go away. Okay. We add you to our list of active characters. There we go. Okay. That's what our unstow looks like. This needs also to have the correct list of arguments. I'm just going to make sure here that I've got everybody visible. Let me fix my spacing up. There we go. So ID, first name, last name, description, default description. Okay, good. Level, starting level, we've got that as a constant. Good. Default max HP for the current HP and for the max. We start you at full health. Attributes. Palette attributes. Skills. This is a pointer, right? It's not. It's a map, but that's going to get passed as a pointer. How can I ensure a deep copy happens here? Let's see. Map has a clone. That's a shallow, though. Copy. Copy copies them in. Oh, there's an interesting idea. Yeah. Like we could do it manually, but why, right? Let's do this. Just thinking. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to want a copy. Pretty sure. Let's do just, we'll call it attributes map UUID attribute. We'll do the same thing for skills. Like so. Maps copy. Let's see here. In source, adding them to destination. So we copy into attributes. Valid attributes. Attributes. Not attributes, skills. Valid skills. That way we make sure we have that. Attributes, skills, go in there. Location, default starting location will do, thank you. Nil for additional tags. Rollers, new simple roller. Die size to set that up. Broker is a pointer, which we have like so. There we go. Let's make sure you all fit on a single screen there. Okay. Let's do this. Copy. Or get skill map, I guess we could say. Hang on. We're going to put that back there for just a second. I was thinking about putting them in both. But I think I like it better if they're separate. Get attribute map. No space there, thank you. There, okay. And then this can be Get attribute map. Get skill map. Hey Terrace, how's it going? Okay. I like that more. And then I already got rid of that initialize nonsense. Reloading. Though. I don't want to do that. Actually, I could. Do we need to save the current state? I don't think so. Not at this step. Well, these are pointers. The primarily we're going to be concerned about statuses having references to things that go away. But what do we want to do about this? We want to kick the can down the road on this because it's not for sure clear we're going to need it or not. Consider if we care about whether or not, or about reloading character data here or not. So we load the other stuff. Status effects. This is just the valid ones. We're just going to worry about that later. For now, we're going to finish tidying this up. And part of that is going to be, we're going to move our notifications tests into their own folder here. Because right now they're just going to be in character, I think. Yeah. They're all going to be in the same package still. So they'll all end up running. It's just this will be nicer. Okay. That's all fine now. Still, because this is in the same package. That's cool. It's going to be the other... What software am I using? Like, what do you mean? Like the IDE? The IDE is JetBrains. Let's go land. The tests that are going to be broken are going to be like world map or world manager rather. You. These are going to have to be replaced, which is fine. New character objects. ID, first name, last name, that's all still fine. Description can be empty. It shouldn't matter. Ooh, no, I lied. It's going to matter when we test it. And these guys are the ones currently testing anti-gravity. Would you say it's, I don't even know what that is. Anti-gravity. No, I would not say it is a good software because I don't use AI. We need to look at we should have done constantly around the area. Quick look data. Exits. Oh, we didn't check. Okay. So here we should actually also make sure we can do missing exits after. We want to make sure that this contains character 2, so quick look should only be we should do this. This should be test char 2 get name from the perspective of test char 2 name. If it doesn't, we add an error. Say character received incorrect. Quick look data. Second character's name is missing. And then I guess I could do that. And then a new line, and then we can do the string output. So char2 name, and then string result bytes, like so. What would you suggest rather than VS Code? VS Code is fine. Like, I like Goland. That's just my preference. You do have to pay for it if you're doing anything commercial with it. I pay for a license. If you're not going to pay for a license, VS Code is fine. It's free. You can use it. You can get a lot of stuff done with it. There's NeoVim if you're into that kind of thing. Some people love Sublime Text. Like, whatever speaks to you, basically. There's no, there's no, like, you must use this software sort of thing. Like, anybody who says that is trying to sell you something, right? It's very much a personal preference outside of the context of whatever your company provides. Like, if they provide you a license and say everybody uses this, you have to use this, then that's a company rule. But in the real world of like, does it really matter? Not really. As long as you have good linting and LSP support, you're fine. Learning how to code, cool. Right on. I'm impressed by your confidence in writing an engine. I would build it as I'm making a game. Did you do architecture beforehand, or you have everything in your mind? I've done all of the architecture basically on stream as we built it. So I had like a general idea that I knew I would need like a game manager to handle the game loop sort of thing, right? And then the rest is sort of just the normal way that I approach writing software, where I want to push responsibilities off into modules and keep things as interchangeable and separate as possible, right? As a general kind of rule of thumb. Which is why, you know, all of this stuff lives in the character package, and it's all to deal with character stuff. And why we're doing this refactor is because it was getting scattered and unclear, and we want to really have one place that is responsible for doing a thing that we can work with in different ways, right? So before, the game manager was calling this guy to spawn him, and he would get created and all this other stuff. But it was all messy. Now we can create a character object and act upon him, right? We don't have to worry about getting, like, manager should be able to come out of here. Is kind of the goal we're aiming for, so that we can more independently interact with a character object. If we build him, we can use him in things that consume characters. Is sort of like the goal of the style. And it kind of applies to everything, right? If I build a map, I should be able to interact with that map in any way I want to, provided I can import it. Otherwise, I got to hide it behind interfaces and things get a little more complicated, you know? But within that map, like, anything that consumes it should be able to just use it, because its responsibilities should live in itself. I may have explained that really, really poorly. It's not really like a hard and fast rule. It's just kind of a thing I strive to set myself up for success with, basically. Like the clearest example, I guess, would probably be that the character manager has the database for character storage in it. Nobody else knows or cares how they get stored, right? Same with the game manager. It has the account database stuff in it. Nobody else knows or cares how they get stored. And they get translated between internal and external objects, which kind of just is a pattern that happens because there's always something in a database that just has to be different than you really want it to be to interact with it in code. So you just got to make a conversion function and apply testing to it. And it's stupid and I don't like it, but it is, you know, the way it's got to be for sanity. Okay, so there we go. We've added our description. We're basing it on, or the name rather. We're basing it on the name we get back. Description won't actually matter for this one because it's a quick look. It only gets the name. I would like to see more streams like this from you. It really helps me by seeing how you do stuff and how I can do it too. Yeah, there's lots of them. I stream 4 days a week for about four hours a day. So you're always welcome to come hang out. His level won't really matter. We can just give him a 1. His HP and max and current is also not relevant. We can give him an empty set of attributes. We've already imported character, right? Yeah, so yeah, we should be fine here. The attributes come first. Except for this is character attributes. Right? Why can't I? You. Character attribute. Yes. Unresolved type. Hey, it's a raid! Hey, Kedu, how's it going? How's all the everything? What you up to today? Unresolved. Why aren't you importing for me? Is it because I need to fix this first and then you'll be happy? Let's just... And then you'll automatically import and I don't have to go fix it. So attributes and then skills, additional tags. Wait, that's our location. The location is going to be important here. I'm gonna do what I keep fighting doing for some reason unknown even to me. And I'm going to... I don't know if this could be a const, actually. Not point, this. Like so. Not a constant. Okay, I was afraid of that. I just have to make you a var. But then I should be able to use you Did I not make you capital? I didn't. Hello? Oh, my caps lock key's on. That's why. Then I can just use coordinates 0. Anywhere I want a 0. Ah, this is because this is plural. There we go. Duh. Okay, so location and then nil for that. New simple roller 20. That's fine. It doesn't really matter. Are you not the rollers package? Hang on. Broker. Nil message broker for now. Because we don't have anything going out. That might be a problem. We'll find out. Is it roller? What did I call you? You'll be in my convert. Rollers. New simple roller. Rollers. New simple roller. Don't know why. Oh, are you internal? You are internal. That's why. Yeah, you can come out. That's fine. There we go. Now it'll work. And then I don't need you anymore. All right, now we just need to make sure we make this legible for future me. It's really annoying. There we go. And we're gonna do the same here. He doesn't need a description. He can be 1, 1, 1, make. You know, come to think of it, we could probably just make you a test global. Attribute. Not attribute skill. We already did attribute. 0. No additional tags. New simple roller. Oh, yeah. Me 20. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Nothing for the broker. Feed him the logger. You are missing paren. There we go. Let's do that. We should be able to right. I wasn't. That'll be fine. I need to do this though. I am capitalizing. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and then in our test main, we'll pull these guys up. And as long as we don't need to do anything with changing these default parameters, we can reuse them. We'll need that. And then we'll need that. I think. Trying to work out edge detection for my shaders, but I'm like passing out here. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Well, enjoy a nap or a sleep, whatever it be. I hope you made progress at least. Let's see here. I just don't want to... Because this goes in the map, that should be fine. When we place them, we should be setting their current location, so I think we're okay to do this. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to make sure... We want to make sure that we clean up our channel stuff so we don't have lingering listeners. Yeah, I made progress. Not quite as much as I would have liked, but progress nonetheless. Yeah, I know the feeling. It's usually the case, right? We can move y'all up here. Put you into the global. Like so. We'll do that. That. Do that. And immediately after we do these guys, we'll defer. What was the... Stop listening to events. Does this return anything? It doesn't. Okay, so we can just directly defer. We don't need to put you into an anonymous function. Stop listening to events. That way that gets cleaned up. That. That. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. You. Test char 2. A stretch! I do need a stretch. Oh. That felt way better than it should have. I had the hunch going, you know? Oh, thank you for that reminder. Okay. You getting from the perspective of test char 1. Char 2 name. Yes, that's fine. You down here. Our names are exported. For now, we'll leave it untrimp, right? I find that the microphone kind of encourages my shrimpy nature. Because it's down there, and I'm like aware of it, and I keep wanting to like speak into it, like reflexively. Maybe I should move it. Get a better stand or something. Okay, you should be back to working. We should be able, let's just say, if we can do that, then we can delete that. And the same thing here. Like we're shadowing it, but the refactor should get us squared away, and then we delete it, we're no longer shadowing. Yes, good. Defer. Test char 1. Stop listening to events. You defer. Test char 2. Stop listening to events. I have no choice. I have no desk, only bed. So that's rough, dude. Is it like a space constraint or a budgetary constraint? Oh, I'm gonna need a third character too. Damn it. Okay, that's fine. Yes. Okay, yeah. I know the feeling. Test char 1 goes in here. Test char 2 goes in here. And then we can chuck them. We're going to bring these fellas up here. Because I'm going to need them. I need to set up test char 3 like so. I am going to give these guys descriptions because we're using them for everything now. It's going to become helpful. Okay, you description the third test char. Just I want to be able to discriminate between them in a test, basically. Attributes, map, UID, character skill, make our 0, no additional tags, new simple roller 20, that's fine. And then the logger, I've missed a close paren. And then you, that. Okay, I'm missing something here. We've got ID, first, last, description, level, starting HP, max HP, map for attributes, map for skills, coordinates, additional tags, roller, and the logger. Not enough arguments. Attribute, skill, coordinate. Oh, nope, roller. Broker. Broker I'm missing. Rollers, broker. There we go. And then you... Oh, I... Bring you back really quick. Because I copy-pasted you. Test char 3, and then we can delete you after you help us. Wait. Test char also did. Oh, I must have just. Not done all of the everything. There we go. Except for you didn't refactor. I must have undone it by accident while I was putting the other things back. Whoops. Oh well, we'll go fix it real quick. Okay, so we can't get the description here, but our... Are you building this for yourself or is it for a company? For me. Description, I think, is something covered by our interface for a game object? No. Look at is... That gives us a string. We know, because we wrote it recently, we know that description is what comes back from a look at. But that doesn't test the code. We would run it through the same exact code and we could have the same exact error, right? So what we're gonna do I guess we'll just do this. We'll pull this all over into the globals. But to do that, we'll need to put them up here. We might... Would it be available for people to play? Eventually, when I build the game. Right now, I'm still building the engine. I can put these up here. I'm going to leave them not uppercase. You don't actually have to do that. It's just helpful, in my opinion, to see that they're globals. We could actually probably pull this out. How long does it take to build a full game? Don't know. Let you know when I get one. To first name is this. Our test char to last name is this. Test char to description is that. Depends on the game, the tools, and the team. Well, there you go. Test char to first name, test char to last name, test char to description. Last one to get pulled back up there, like so. Bar test char 3. First name, let's keep it all the same though. Is that bar test char 3. Last name is that. Test char 3. Description is this, and let's actually spell that correctly for fun. That doesn't really matter, but you know. First name, last name, description. There we go. Receiver was made in 72 hours. Dwarf Fortress has been in there for 20 years. I've never heard of Receiver. Dwarf Fortress I have heard of. Okay, so now when we come down here, we replace this. Char 2 description. It's desk. Because I was feeling lazy. And then, we do the same here. Oh, that didn't copy. You. Like so. Gonna need that. That. Should we use get name? It's probably okay. Let's see. Why is they taking so long? Because it's huge, I think was the reason. 24-hour gauge jams, and I've made Pong in a few hours. Yeah. Depends on the game. Dwarf Fortress is immensely expansive with only 2 people. There's a lot of features, incredibly complex systems. Yeah. That's what I've heard. I've never actually played it. I'm not really an ASCII game kind of guy. Like, I would prefer just straight up text or graphics, I find, for my personal taste. We do that. Oh, we want to make sure that I got in here. I didn't. Stop listening to events. This is number 2. I had the same problem when I looked at, like, Caves of Cud. Hydrate! Okay, I need to do that here in just a second. I want to also create a game also, but I need to learn a lot more. I mean, yeah. I've learned a lot in making this, for sure. But, like, having a project you're interested in to help you stay motivated to keep working helps to stay motivated to keep working and learn more, right? It is surprising how little you need to know to make a game and how much you learn about it. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. I would say don't let it stop you. Like, make Pong, right? Make something simple and easy. Let me go get a beverage so I can hydrate. Be right back. There we go. I'm gonna try to make one while we're watching him stream. There you go. Love a good co-working stream. All right, we're gonna hydrate with this lovely unsweetened sparkling water, passion fruit. Delicious. And we're going to set that aside because I also need to caffeinate with this delicious energy drink. Delicious. If you want to make a game, do something in Construct 3 or RPG Maker. Something simple. He and I are crazy people who hate ourselves. Well, I can't speak for you, but can confirm in my case. Where am I from? The US, of course. I love a monster. Me too. I actually prefer like a Red Bull, but they want way too much dang money for Red Bulls. Okay, we have our... We're looking at them directly, so that's fine. We have our stop listening. This one should be fixed up. This one we need to do our stop listening. I'm going to defer, and the same here. I'm also Eagle Screech American. Let's see. Stop listening events. Yes. Okay. We should have everybody. This. This needs to get replaced. Char. Oops. Which one was you? Test char. 2. Okay. 2 desk. There we go. Same over here. I am South African. Right on. And then looks himself over. That's fine. Very cool. Not many people in the space from South Africa. It's funny because I think there's somebody in YouTube right now, or was earlier from, let's see, from South Africa. Yeah. Unless that's you. You. Test char 1, so that we get the refactor in. Test char 2, so that we get the refactor in. Test char 3, so that we get the refactor in. Stop listening to events. Okay, we have a third test character, but we don't listen to his events. We don't. He is just left over from a copy pasta. Okay, that's fine. That's good. One less thing. This needs to be a defer, not an immediate. Char 2, stop listening to events. Yeah, from you. Okay, gotcha. Okie dokie. You. That. And the same is true of you. Looks himself over. Okay. You. For the refactor. U for the refactor. U for the refactor. Okay. Oh, actually, I want to... Yes, I don't place you here. You're actually just leftover, so we'll clear you out of here. Defer the stop. The stop. Okay, we can get the ID by virtue of you having the interface. We can actually do this, this, do them both at the same time like so. All right. What would you suggest me to use to make a game to learn about it for free? It depends entirely on what kind of game you want to make, right? Kedu gave you a couple options. RPG Maker, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's going to be more like a traditional sprite-based 2D game, right? There is a... Okay, hang on, one sec. Let me go... grab this. Drop you some links. Okay, here we go. So, this is Thor's website. And he's got some tools here that you can take a look at. I'll put it in both chats just in case anybody else is curious. Thor is also a streamer. He doesn't do a whole lot of game dev on stream now because there's a bunch of spoilers and stuff, I guess, that he's writing the game, so he doesn't want to show that until people play it. He doesn't want to write in front of people, I guess, too. But anyway, so he's got a bunch of good stuff over here that he thinks is valuable, and he would know more than I would in this regard. I've used Godot a little bit. It's fine. It's perfectly okay. There's Game Maker, there's some other stuff, but this Game Engines database just shows you everything that's out there, right? Anything in the database, and you can go here and figure out, like, okay, I want to be an education game or something, right? And that might be like a license tag. I don't know. I haven't used this. I just decided to write my own, right? License, here you go. Open source. So you can look at open source. Let's take that out of there. And let's say instead I'm interested in running on Linux. And I want it to be completely free, right? So you can start looking here, and like they have 2D, 3D, agnostic, which is probably platform agnostic, I would guess. But you can kind of get some ideas here. But RPG Maker, like Kedu said, Godot, also viable. I would probably not say Unity, because their licensing has been all over the place lately. I would probably also not say Unreal, because you just don't need that. And it doesn't work great on Linux. If you're on Linux, I guess I'm making an assumption there. I wouldn't say it for me because I'm on Linux, right? It doesn't integrate well. It doesn't run well. The last time I tried it, creating a new level would crash the editor. I was like, well, this is still broken. Construct 3 is too deep, varies to pick up. Scratch is something I would avoid. AI training and charging when it was free. Gotcha. Love 2D is great if you already have a good understanding of programming. Yeah. There's things like depending on what you're trying to do, there's also stuff like Raylib, where you don't even really need an engine and you can just draw things on the screen with it, as far as I'm aware. I haven't used it myself. Language is going to be influenced by your engine choice as well, too. So, like, that's kind of... It's... If you're learning, it probably has more bearing than if you already know how to program, right? So something to think about is like if you know Python, then you want to probably see if you can find an engine that'll do the kind of game you want that uses Python. Normally it's like a secondary concern though. And I don't even know if there's a game engine that runs on Python or not. I think there's like one for more like story games. I think it's been mentioned to me before. I don't remember the name of it. In fact, I think I already closed the... Thor might have mentioned it in that website. Yeah. Python tool called RenPy? Visual novels, yeah. Risk of Rain was Game Maker and MS Paint. He's got lots of good stuff in there. If you know Python, Pygame, and Godot would be an excellent RenPy. Okay, yeah. Godot can have a steep learning curve. I think every engine's going to have a steep learning curve. From my experience, like, I've only played with them. I haven't really sat down and, why is my camera blurry again? And really committed to building a game in one. But I've explored them a little bit, and I found them all to be fairly opinionated, which makes sense, right? Like, you do things the Godot way, or you're gonna have a bad time. Godot uses GD script, which is Python inspired. Yes, that is true. It's actually a thing I didn't like about them because I wanted to use a good editor and I don't like significant white space. It's a mistake. It's always been a mistake. It was a mistake in Python. It was a mistake in YAML. But their C# support is, or not the support, but the documentation is pretty shaky, or it was. It's been like a year since I messed with that. Hopefully they've improved it. Because I like using a nice IDE. Okay. We did defer the stop. We've got our checks in here. We should be good. Test char 1 for the refactor. Significant white space is the bane of my existence. Whoever came up with it could go hug a box of jelly. I feel pretty much the same. And I've written a lot of Python. A lot of Python. I still am not a big fan of significant white space. Let's see. Look at self by tags. Yeah, we don't need our third guy for that. Stop listening. Stop listening. Deferred. You need to be the description here. Perfect. Getting close to 2, 3, 4 more. Test char 1 for the refactor. Test char 2 for the refactor. Test char 3 for the refactor, and it appears we probably use him. So we'll go defer Oh my gosh, I can't type today. Stop listening. Stop listening. Stop listening. And then let's go see. Should be here. Like so. What else we got? Oh, I forgot to delete you. There we go. Okay, hopefully almost done. Place you, defer. Like so. Yeah, let's just make it architecturally impossible to format your code, or use hard wraps, or collaborate with people who use tabs instead of spaces, or spaces instead of tabs. Yeah, brilliant idea there, guys. Yeah. It was a couple weeks ago now, but I spent like a couple of hours being really confused as to why my build pipeline for another project was not working. And I had an extra space. My indentation was wrong. It was a YAML file. I was just like, ugh, guys, you're killing me here. I was writing an API. Whoops, cancel that, please. I was writing an API spec also for another project the other day, and it seems like they're trying to move to JSON, but it wasn't sure if they were, if the documentation was there yet, right? So I did still go with the YAML file for that spec, but I'm hopeful that maybe they'll move to JSON. 10 out of 10, Ring of Hell to you. Yeah, Ring of Hell you go. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Test char 1. Test char 2. Get you. This needs to be a defer, please. Thank you. Okay, this should be our last one, too. Okay. We need to check. Nope, everything should be good here. This all is in the same package. Okay, what do we got going on here? Test quick look room only. Did I... get name for test char 2? Did I set this up incorrectly here? Foobar, Baz, Quux, Barbaz. I thought I did 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 3 3 3 3. Okay, that should be fine. This is why I like Lua, except for one indexing. I've heard. I've never worked with Lua. I've heard of the one indexed arrays, which just sounds monstrous to me, but you know. And that's down here. Ah, we have mixed that up. Okay. This should be test chart 1 in both cases. And apparently we had a panic in there somewhere. Take a look at that. It's probably the message broker. Unfortunately, we'll have to set one up probably. Second test char got the name, the first test char. Down here, description is missing from targeted look data. This is quick look itself. Why would that be? Description. The first test char. This used to be... Oh, I wanted the second. Okay. Character 1 results. Yeah, why would that be? This should be test 1, I think. Oops. Double check. Used to be test 2. Oh, that's right, because... Hang on. What's the target? Look at self by ID. Yeah, this is just wrong. How did that happen? It's because they had the same description before. We're finding troubles as a result. This one's going to be the same because we copy pasted a lot, which is kind of the downside to it, but like, because we're looking at ourself here. We expect character 1's description. And now that they're different, our test is failing. So that's good that we caught that. We can fix the test so we can fix the actual behavior. You look at self by ID, same deal. This is just the look as opposed to the quick look. This should fix up a bunch of that. Wanted that, got that. Same deal. Char 1 results. Char 1 description. Hidden exits. The one indexing is pretty easy to adapt to, so it isn't too bad. And it's Lua, so you can just assign an index by 0 anyway, or make an array be 0 index. So not awful, but still, why? Why indeed? Let's see here. Character 138. Ah, because we still use the manager there. Good. We found a thing. Okay, this is probably going to be also a log. Yep. Let's actually just do Game Manager channel. So that needs to get pulled out before we could eliminate manager. This is just a string, so that's fine. So that should be the only other one, hopefully. Perfect. Okay. So, what else is going to have this problem? Let's actually commit. We've done a ton of work. Let's do a commit. Actually, hang on. We're going to do notifications and their test. What? Oh. There we go. This is one commit. Pull notifications out into a separate file for visual organization. We're going to do this. Make rollers a server internal package instead of a character internal. And the rest of this, let's see here, command parser. That should just be things that were changed by our refactoring of the other stuff. So I think the rest of this is going to get lumped into its own same, or all into the same commit. Ah, yes. This shouldn't matter. Let's validate that. Yes, perfect. Posture check. Okay, yep, you're right. I am shrimping. It is true. It is very true. There we go. Good call. Okay. What else? Character stuff, roller stuff, yes. Command parser test, yes. Coordinates, yes. Okay, let's actually do coordinates. Add a 0 coordinate for convenience. And the rest, refactor character to character creation. Move to the character file. Take all hard dependencies except for manager channel, or not manager, game manager channel as arguments instead of relying on manager pointer. Okay, push all that up. And then we'll continue making sure everything is hunky-dory here. I believe, let's close you. Just gonna tidy this up really quick. That should be fine. Should be fine. I I believe map and tile are going to have problems. Ooh, game manager might too. Nope. Okay, cool. I'm excited to hit affiliate here soon. I want my redeems. Nice, nice. How far off are you? Let's go take a look here. You're at 55 followers. I don't remember how many you need. But you need followers and average viewers, right? Oh, why don't I follow you? I thought I did follow you. There. You're one closer. Let's all go make sure we're following our friend Kedu. Oh, maybe did I not? Is that not the right command? I've failed. I failed to Twitch correctly. What is the Now I gotta go look it up. Like an idiot. Oh, it's not not a bang command. It's a There we go. Now I've done it correctly. I technically hit the requirements, just waiting on Twitch to realize, like, oh, okay, gotcha. Well, congrats on the impending affiliate. Twitch has been like super slow for me since the first of the year, I think. Certainly since I've been back to my day schedule, it's been slow. So I'm all out of practice. But like, it's start of the year. I get it. There's a lot of people doing stuff, holidays and stuff, and families, and there's a lot of stuff to watch. Okay, game manager test seems to be okay. Game map, we need to go double check on his tests. Yeah, there's a lot of weirdness. Yeah. But, it's just one of those things. I believe viewership just generally tends to, like, slowly increase as people come back to hanging out. And until, like, the holidays again, and then it, like, drops off a cliff. And everybody freaks out in like, December. And then it starts to come back. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we do use this here. We have a main here. And because we keep putting you at here, which should set your current location and manage that, I think we can still get away with having just global character objects that we set up in test main. I think. Yeah. There's also been weirdness with Twitch itself, and I suspect it's vibe coding related. Like, my notifications, it says my Twitch. There's supposed to be 2 notifications. Won't load. Just not there. It's only been since November, I think, since I started. Nice. Might have been started December. I maybe actually can't remember. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I've been... It was, January of 2025, I started. And I started on YouTube shortly after that when people started asking, because they were like, "Hey, I would love to put you on the TV, which has the YouTube app, so I'm like more likely to co-work with that." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Totally fine with that. I'll put myself on there. Oh yeah, I was gonna copy and pasta because I love to do that. We did that in World Manager. World Manager test. I'm just gonna borrow the hard work of myself. I'm gonna grab y'all. K-map test up here. Put you after all that. That's fine. And then down here, after I do all the things that are more prone to failure. Oops, wrong function. Here we go. Like so. I really have YouTube just have the YouTube for archival. Just started that site maybe a month and a half ago. Yeah. I think we talked about that the other day, but I started because people asked for it. But then it wound up being bigger than Twitch. I was really surprised by that because I don't really associate myself YouTube with live streaming as much. But test char one. But like I pick up people all the time from there now, which I'm totally cool with. Okay, you all should be fine now, I hope. I've just kind of taken the test chart 2. He's the observer, but that's fine. I've taken the approach of just being everywhere. And people can find me wherever they prefer. And I'm still thinking about... oops, I just totally screwed the pooch there. Test char 1. I'm still thinking about, like, kick, and that's, like, the only big one I know of that's an actual thing. Like, there's a couple other, like, YouTube wannabe competitors, like, what's the one? Odyssey or something like that, but, like, they're all in bed with crypto crap, and I'm like, I don't want any of that junk. I want to play with that game. And I hear mixed things about Kick, too. Like, I hear it's full of bots and it's crappy. I guess Twitter has live streaming now. I don't know if it actually works or not. Test char 1. You like so. Okay. And as long as I've used my variables correctly, which I hopefully have, these all should just take care of themselves. We'll have to go double check the tile because that's in the same package. YouTube streaming is growing pretty quickly. Yeah, it's because Twitch is being dumped. Yes. So YouTube is starting to push more streams so it's more discoverable. Yeah. Discoverability is way better on YouTube, I think. Which is bizarre. And I guess we don't ever have a third guy here, so we're fine without him. Like, you would think that Twitch would want us to be more discoverable because that's more things to keep people's attention, you know? But, like, if you don't actively like go looking for smaller streams, it's very difficult to find them. Like if we go back to Twitch right now and we go, not you. If we go to the software and game development category here, like this lady has 200 people. Here's Zed hanging out with 69 viewers. Nice. So you got, you know, people with a decent viewer count here, but like, I'm not on here. Oh, I guess I am here. I am on the first page, which is surprising to me, you know, but like anybody who's less than 5 viewers isn't showing up here. And how are they going to gain traction, right? How will they become the person with 6 views? And like, how will they stay on the platform if they don't see some kind of traction? Like, or at least, you know, like your content could be bad, and that's just people aren't going to jive with it. That's fine. That's a different problem. But like, you have to be able to have that chance. Like, if my audio was crap right now and I had nobody telling me, then how would I fix it? You know. Okay, so tile test over here. Yeah, we got a couple of these guys. Current location, we manually set that. I think we'll still be okay. As long as... So we delete him, we can still set that, and we're going to defer. And we probably need this to be... Well, maybe. Current location is 0. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put him in an anonymous funk right there, like so. That's fine. Just to make sure he gets put back in a place. Because he is a global guy. Char 1, current location 0. Okay. Let's find out if these tests pass. I mean, that's why I've been not afraid of self-promotion. Yeah, I just do it as like a one-off throwaway mentioning that I stream. If they bite, cool, I elaborate. If not, I just leave it. Yeah. I find usually that people don't care. Okay, so all these pass. I also struggle with that a little bit too, like with friends and stuff, because like I don't want to be that guy, you know? Okay. Alrighty then. Let's make sure... actually, let's do this. Let's add everything we just did and commit it. Fix tests broken by refactor. Push. And then we'll go into server. And we'll run everything really quick. Okay, we do have some trubs. Character test. Character test has failures? Character test. Let's see what we got going on here. Clean that up and then get our panic, do move. Right here, 326. We didn't give it a manager. Or we gave it a nil manager because we used the create, maybe? Nope, we created him directly. We just didn't give him a manager. Because Unstow would have done it before. Also why I raid, and it's a socially acceptable promotion. Yeah. I raid when I got people. So how do I want to do this? Either I need to add a channel for this, or I need to make a public parameter. Or dispatch message topic string. I would kind of just like this to be the default, I think. So let's just make you message broker and game manager topic can be a string. And then down here, we put that right after message broker, is what were we giving you in character manager here? Game manager channel. That comes from where? You get set there. You provide me with this. Oh, okay. Same, I don't like rating when I have no viewers because then it just looks like you're trying way too hard. Yeah. There's that, but also it's like, you know, like, and why bother, you know? Like, I can just end and walk away if I got nobody hanging out. I'd rather bring people to, because like I raid people whose content I like, right, or that are doing cool stuff, basically, you know. So that too, yeah. It's like, why do I want to jump through the extra hoops to not bring people over there to find something they might enjoy, you know? It's like a it's like a rising tide raises all ships type of thing, right? Like, okay, so this will need to be that well, it'll be defaulted if we do this. If we make it a string, It'll be defaulted to an empty string. I guess for the sake of explicitness, we can set you to an empty string as a default. And this could actually be broadcast topic. Default to broadcast if nobody tells us otherwise. And if we just make that public, then it's fine. Then we can do here, instead of relying on our manager, what did I just call you? I need to manager topic. There we go. Manager topic. So because it's public, over here in character manager, when we convert new character object, if our this channel isn't an empty string, then converted manager topic is this. I like that. I would like you to be called a topic here too, just to sort of stick with the same nomenclature. That's what it really is. I don't want to confuse channel with the Go channel stuff that's already in here. Okay. That should actually fix that. Okay, we still got a failure. Oh yeah, we're gonna have some failures in here. That makes sense. Instead of fixing this and then breaking it again, though, let's go ahead. I'm gonna take this out of here now. I don't like you in here. I don't want you in here. I didn't like you in there to begin with, but I had no better ideas, and I hadn't sat down to really crunch out what I should do that's better. Now I have, and the manager can keep itself out of there and instead drive you correctly. Meow. Test main. Load attributes. All of this should be fine. Create character. That should be fine, I think. New character manager. Create character. Because it's going to create the bare minimum here. Oh, we only check that you're not nil. Which is fine because create character doesn't return us the character. We just get an ID back. Like we could grab him back out and check him. But we're going to do that already in load. So it should be fine. All right, you. This is going to suck. Yeah, this, speaking of things that suck, this music is not my jam. There we go. Okay. That we don't expect anymore, for one. That's not going to get us everything, though. Because we're trying to deep equal them. You. We found more manager references. Good. Should be the only one. Okay. Let's try that again. Load character. Okay. Perfect. So we gotta think, yeah. Checking this is gonna be a little bit awkward. We can do, instead of a check on an expected character, this is not. Attributes and skills, and then loading him. We're going to expect the logger, which is not readback log. Oh, yeah, okay. We set that to whatever it comes back as. That's fine, because it creates a new one. I don't like this. This is not a good way to compare this anymore. It's grown beyond this. Let's do this a different way. We're going to check the fields instead. And we're going to, instead of doing this, we're just going to drive it with variables. That's what we're going to do. Okay. I'm going to step away for just a second and use the restroom. And then we'll refactor this guy, and then we'll end up borrowing that work again, I think. But yeah, be right back. There we go. Okay, let's change this up really a lot more while we're taking a quick break. There we go. There. Now we're gonna do we're gonna call you first name. I'm gonna call you last name. Get rid of those commas. Get rid of those fields. I'm actually gonna do. I'm gonna pull this down in just a second. First, we'll swap that in. Okay. We're going to comment on all of this because we're going to change it. And this can just go. So, we're going to say if the ID, except for it can't be UUID nil. Right. We're going to clear this out. Oh, we already did this. We already checked. Okay, perfect. So we're already getting there. We just need to get rid of that. That makes more sense. How far is the game engine from being completed? Pretty far. Like, we're still in basic, you know, getting things in place to play a game. We don't have NPCs, we don't have items. We need to add multiple maps still. We're clearing up the backlog of things that are buggy or just bad so that we have a good foundation to press on from. Okay. So we already handled those. The readback first name is not equal to test first name. Readback first name incorrect. Wanted this, got this, easy peasy. We wanted test first name. We got readback first name. What are you mad about here? Redundant? Oh, duh. I'm like in Dartland halfway here. We don't need parens around our ifs in Go. And then this is the last name. This is the last name and last name there. Okay, perfect. I guess description is not equal to the default. Readback description incorrect. Wanted this, got that. Default readback description. Cool. State is gonna be an problem. US starting state. I guess we can just say, well, let's do this in a better order. Hang on. ID. Roller can come down here. We're just going to do this in order because it'll be easier to reason about. It doesn't technically matter. It's just nice. So we do ID, first name, last name, description. Perfect. The level, right? Yes. Default or starting level. Here we go. Perfect. Starting or readback level incorrect. Wanted got. It's actually decimal. So starting level, readback level, perfect. Current location is not equal to default starting location. Readback location incorrect. Wanted. We'll do the string version of these fellas. This is default starting location. I think it'll do string automatically. It'll call it automatically. And we got readback current location. Except Yeah, I think this will be fine. Okay. Tags. For now, we're just going to do an expected tags. String? How about string? There we go. We expect this to be the first name, the last name. Error, read back, tags not, or incorrect, wanted, this, got that, wanted, expected tags, read back, tags, cool. Oh, I can't just equality these guys, can I? I can do a diff here. Diff is an empty. Readback tags incorrect. Diff. We'll do that instead. Okay. If the current HP is not equal to default max HP, it's an error. HP incorrect, wanted, got. Default max, current. We can do a duplication of this. Max HP, that. Max HP. Not sure why I'm storing a of course, because I have to know how much I should have. Attributes. So expected attributes can be our test manager get attribute map, right? Then here we can say diff expected attributes, readback attributes. Diff is not equal to an empty string, then error read back attributes incorrect. Print out the diff. The same exact code block for skills. Get skill map. Skills. Read back. Skills incorrect. Okay. See here. Statuses. I think we just nil check this. Applied statuses. If it's nil, it's just an error. Read back applied statuses is nil. Should not be. And the same for the notification channel. Read back notification wrapper is nil. Should not be. Oh, except for that can't be nil. We're going to skip that. Because it's just a default. And we don't have equality on it. Yeah, it's fine. State. You return a pointer. So if the state is nil, error, readback state is nil, should not be, else. So if it's not nil, if back state is not state alive, state, starting state is a state. I could do this. If it's not okay, then make sure here, state machine, alive does not implement state. I beg to differ. Here we go. Let's do this instead. Read back state name. Arguably not a good naming convention, but you know, alive name. What am I missing here? Oh, I can do your live state name. That'll work. Read back state is incorrect, should be, but got that. Let's do this the same way. Same pattern as the other things. Wanted and then got. Like so. Okay, this is read back. Or rather, this is state name. And this is read back state name. There we go. Good enough, I suppose. Just want to make sure that it gets the correct default. Kind of an awkward way to do it, but oh well. Roller shouldn't be nil. Great, we check that. The broker should also just not be nil. Error. Read back. Broker is nil. Should not be. The manager topic. Broker broadcast topic. We should actually in here, if my game manager topic is not an empty string. Oh, but we put you in the database. And then we unmarsh, or we pull you back out and convert you. So yeah, this should be we have a test manager, right? Test config. So this should just be test manager dot game manager topic. Hopefully in our config we set where do you get set again? Down here, initialize handler. Oh. And because that never gets called, it's going to be a problem. Okay. So we expect you at this point to be where did you? There you are. To just be the broadcast. Throw ourselves a note because the test manager is not or does not have initialize handler called. This should default to broadcast. Read back message broker or manager rather. Manager topic is not correct or incorrect. Wanted this, got this. Try to keep it as succinct as possible. Read back manager topic. Okay. And then hopefully lastly, the logger just should not be nil. It should get created when we pull him back out. So we just need to make sure. Using reload. We'll have to copy paste a lot of this. Log. If it's nil. I just spotted a mistake there. Here we go. This is an error that just says read back log is nil, but should not be. Okay. That should cover all of this in a less horrible way. And if we were to run this, test load character should pass, but does not. Unable to compare comparable Go types. Equate comparable. Oh, because you have unexported fields, right? This is why we've pulled go compare out of this crap. Shit. You. Because you have private stuff. It's all in the same package, though. But not from the point of diff. Okay, we know we expect this, so we can say for key val range expected attributes. We can loop here. We can say if val okay read back attributes at key. If it's okay, if val UUID is equal to, I guess we can say if it's not, it's not equal to v UUID, can we print this? I think. Can I just compare maps? Is that a thing? In Go, do I have a convenience helper for that to not do this the hard way? Go compare maps. Maps.equal. Key value pairs, values compared to using equal equals, but attributes aren't. I can't compare a custom struct. So I can't just do that. I do have to go through it the hard way. Okay. ID mismatch in attribute map. Wanted got val. I wanted v UUID got val. If val name, gosh, is not equal to v name, error, name mismatch in attribute map, wanted this, got this, vname, val name. Also, I want to make sure that we do here attribute map, return attribute map, readback. Readback attribute map is missing attribute with ID, which is K. v.description. It's error. Description mismatch in attribute map. Wanted got description val description. Okay. The help text. Help text mismatch in attribute map, wanted this, got that, help text, val, help text, almost there. If val value is not equal to v value, it's a test error. Value mismatch in attribute map, wanted decimal number, got decimal number, v dot value, val dot value. This is incorrect. That should be val. Or no, that should be v. That's correct. I was doing it that way in the others. I'm going to keep doing it. Okay. Now, because we can't just compare, we have to do it the hard way. We do that. We're going to do the same thing for this skill map here. Let's put you over here. We're just going to go for KV range expected skills. Same here. If val okay, read back skills at K is okay. We'll do checks. Else, add an error. Read back skill map is missing skill with ID this, which is the K. We can get away with val name and description and help text and value all just copy pasta, as long as we make sure we change the output so that we don't send ourselves on a wild goose chase. Skill map. And then we do the base attribute ID, v.base attribute ID, base attribute ID mismatch in skill map wanted. We'll do string like so. Base attribute ID val base attribute ID. How goes it? Pretty good. How about you? All right. Now we get rid of compare there. Oops. Let's find out. Wrong type. We need to do the ID so that it can be stringed. Okay. Test load character. Readback broker is nil, but should not be. Okay. So why were you nil? Character manager, when we load you, it's probably because we didn't set a message broker for our test guy here. New character manager, config, load attributes, load skills. Yeah. This. No. Where does broker get set? Am I blind? I am. Okay, config message broker. Which, yeah, we don't have. There. That we do. Test load character. Passes now. Perfect. Okay. Now that we've done all this work, we can go benefit from our own work in our other tests. We're just going to copy pasta this. I could give it a helper. Let's collapse these guys really quick. Func validates character T, which is a pointer to testing.t. The character, pointing to a character. It won't return anything because we're just going to directly write the errors. Yeah, that'll be fine, I think. In here, actually, what we're going to do, change that really quick, just so that we can do the refactor on it. There we go. Now, test first name, string, last name, string. Same deal here. As soon as it realizes, here we go. First, yeah, first name, last name. We can do this, and then manager. Okay. And then load character, we can do validate character, we give it RT, we give it read back test first name, test last name, test manager, like so. I'm going to want to in here replace all of these. We were calling it readback, but that's, yeah. We're just going to change this all to character within this function only. That's why I didn't. That should be state. Alright, that should clean that up to make it more generic. Okay. And test load character should still be passing. Yes, perfect. Loading guy doesn't exist, shouldn't return a character, so we're good there. Load character, new attributes added. So, because we've kicked the can down the road here on these guys, we're going to delete these tests for now. We'll worry about it if we end up needing it. That's fine. All right. You we'll do first name, last name. Actually, I should double check. because we convert. Convert. It's just going to do a new... Yeah, I will need... Okay, that's fine. Test first name. Test last name. This should be test description. Which means we'll have to change our validator a little bit, but that's okay. Test description. Level. This is going to be tricky. Get attribute map. Get skill map. Oh, because you're in... Okay, never mind. Hang on. Do we... These are test helpers. Okay, yeah, that's fine then. That's good. This is the one that we need to get attribute map, get skill map on. Except for we won't do that because we're going to run you through validate. Level, I guess, is kind of a problem for our validator. We can go fix. So basically you down here, this is going to go away. This, comment out really quick, this is going to go away. We're going to call validate character. We're going to give it our T. We're going to give it result. We're going to give it test first name, test last name, and then our test manager. So this is going to fail, right? Meow. And it's going to tell us it's got some incorrect stuff. Missing skill IDs. Okay, interesting. Description is incorrect. Level is incorrect. Location is incorrect. Because we did put you at a place. Okay, so location is also going to need to be a thing that we put in there. Our HP is also not being set in here. Let's set those. They're going to fail still. But that should take care of that. Okay, now, first name, last name, description, string. Oops. String. Ah, I did it again. You go here, not there. So description, location goes in here. Put you all in the same line. current HP goes in here. Max HP goes in here. Okay, and then we put in test description, test location, and I shouldn't magic string these. I should put them test HP 100, test max HP 200. No comma on that one, thank you. Test HP, test max HP. Description, location, test HP, test max HP. Why did I do that? You can have that. I'll do that. Okay. So now we need to replace you like so. I need to replace you like so. Oh, I didn't take you as an argument. Oops. Sure. Do that. Test level. This current HP. This max HP. Okay, the rest of this should be okay for now. And then, oh, we didn't do location. Oh, we didn't do location at all in here. So, yeah, we caught a thing. Okay. Where does that come in our list? We should be being diligent about that, just for the sake of cleanliness. First, last, description, level. Last location will be, we're just going to skip that. Tags need to be in here. Well, we don't need them as an argument. We need to check them. Because we're not doing anything with tags just yet. Current HP, max HP, attributes and skills are already in there. Statuses, notification, state roller, manage topic log. I think everything else is okay. Location. I was going to put, that goes after level. Location. There we go. So I've just flipped these two. Basically. Fix that up. So current HP, max HP. You were... Oh yeah, we do have you in here. We just didn't use you. Location. Okay. That's what we're going to do with that. So, this up here is going to be broken, but that's okay. We're just going to go fill in the missing pieces. So, first name, last name, default description, because we were using that. So, description level would be default, or no, not default, but starting level. Location is default starting location. Easy enough. Current HP is default max HP on both. That's fine. Let's go ahead and pull you down so you're all in the same not absurd line. Okay, that should fix that problem. We're still gonna have one failure, but that's okay. And we only have the one now. Okay, and we only validate the things we really need to drive, so that's good. Like that, big fan. You have a nil ID. We're testing the fact that you should get an ID assigned to you, I believe. No. Expected ID is nil. We can't have that, though. Internal to character, no ID. You need to have an engine ID. So we need to hear if the engine ID is null, or if it's nil, right? Yes. We make you one. If we, for some reason, lack an ID, an engine ID, give it a new one. Okay, so now we're still good. We're gonna pull this stuff out the same way we did, except for this. We won't be using that. Test description, test level, test location, skills and attributes. What am I missing? I'm missing something. HP and max HP. Current HP, test HP, max HP, test max HP. Might as well, right? And then you are upset because this needs to be a pointer. Place with new? No, I don't need to do that. Thank you. Wait, why didn't this... What? Oh, yeah, I just did a pointer there. Okay. That's fine. Because we're going to use it in a minute here. This guy, we can just copy pasta. The validation. We don't need the expected. We do need the results. Put that in there. Everything should be passing. Like so. Perfect. Okay. Is there anything else which is failing? Fantastic. Fix remaining test failures. All of that, like so. Let's do a quick test with the race flag to make sure we haven't added any race conditions. I don't think we have, but that's why we test. And we're good. Okay. Now, have we done all we set to do in this branch? Um, so game manager still calls unstow, which is fine. Unstow will convert now. Converting, well, still, I should say, converting will now build up these guys. Parse internal attributes. Wait, hang on a second. This might be... Yes, okay, this is fine. These are helpers for this to get them converted. That's still true. So we parse those out. We log any issues that we're skipping. If we didn't get an ID, we make one. We create a new character object with it. We consume that now instead. If we have a game manager, we assign it when we convert you over. So unstow converts you over, adds you to the active, gives back the pointer. Perfect. Much happier with that. And then everybody who's testing creates a new character with this guy who takes everything as an argument except for the things we can default. Broadcast topic is now a thing that we can set. Or not broadcast topic, but the game manager topic, right? And we do that in unstow when we convert you over, if relevant. So if we need to make like a spawn NPC function here, we don't need to pull you out of the database. We just create a new character. We can do the same thing we did down here in the unstow. And it all uses the same helper to end up creating the object. So everything should run through that now. Much happier with that. Manager came out of character. Also pleased with that. I think we're good to go here. So let's go ahead. Compare and pull request. Create the pull request. Merge you, confirm the mergey, delete the branchy. Good. Good. This fixed also, I think we had... Yes, this is also done. We did that along the way. Perfect. 2 birds, 1 pull request. Let's get that back in there so we have it. Let's get you up over here. So life is good. This we will check out main, get pull, get branch, delete the one we were on. So we're cleaned up and we're ready to start tackling the next thing. Okay, let's have a little peeky peek here at what that actually needs to be. I shouldn't have pulled that back just yet, but oh well. You up here. Okay, so I think I want multi-maps has to be next. I think that's we've been kind of, cleaning up stuff. Multi-maps. Multi-maps. The first part will be getting the server to use them. And then we'll do the editor. And while we're in the editor, we might just knock this out as well. Or maybe do it first just to kind of get back into the flow of working in Flutter and Dart. Either way, we need to make ourselves a new branch. Server multi-map support. Let's go with add. Server multi-map support. Get our branch created on the remote. And we're ready to rock and roll. Okie dokie. And we've got about 8 minutes left in the stream, so we might end just a little bit early today. Because this is going to be like a whole, new feature to start from scratch. Because right now we only do in World Manager a single map, and this is going to have bearing on character and on this. Right now we're ready for a list of maps. We just don't have that support in anything yet. We'll probably build a second gym using the editor as it is now, because we can just create a map file still. We might... I think we're just going to end up loading like all the maps in that folder, so we'll have to move our editor test map out. Editor will need something to account for that so we can still mess with stuff. Or maybe it's time for editor test map to go away. We'll have to look at it and take a peek and figure out how we want to tackle this exactly. But I'm excited because multi-maps and connecting them is a big step towards game. But yeah, let's get you guys out of here before we have another ad break on Twitch side. We do have a couple people, so let's see about who we could raid today on Twitch side. Before we do that, though, I just want to say thank you for everybody who came to hang out. It was good to see those of you who are returning viewers. Good to meet those of you who are new. I do this thing roughly 4 hours a day, 4 days a week, starting on Friday, ending on Monday. So come on back tomorrow around 10 a.m. Central Time. I'll be here doing it again, and I'd love to see you. If not, you guys have yourselves a great week anyway. I'll catch you some other time on down the road. So yeah, thanks. But yeah, let's find somebody here. Let's see who's on for Twitch. We got Zed is on. Covino we raided yesterday. Let's go Zed. Zed is also a super chill guy. Kind of a good co-working stream as well. So, we'll leave you in good hands. And, yeah. Here we go. Thanks again, everybody. Catch you tomorrow.